Even today, the lives of our ancient ancestors remain a fascinating topic. And in order to help piece together bygone cultures, behaviors, and origins, experts rely on two things that often stir up more questions than answers: physical evidence and theory. Scholarly debates can grow so intense that only new discoveries are capable of breaking long-standing beliefs. But sometimes, those so-called breakthroughs do the exact opposite. And here, we'll show you what we mean. So, let's begin this list with number 15, the Dropa Stones. Well, the story of the Dropa Stones begins in 1938, when an archaeological expedition explored a remote region of the Bayan Karaula Mountains along the China-Tibet border. At the mountain peaks, researchers discovered caves filled with graves and wall carvings showing figures with elongated heads alongside images of the sun, moon, and stars. The skeletons found inside were small, just over 3 feet tall, with unusually big skulls. Within the tombs, explorers found stone discs nearly 12 inches wide, each with a central hole and spiral grooves etched across the surface. These markings were later described as carved symbols. A total of 716 discs were reportedly recovered and sent for study. One scholar claimed the symbols told a story of aliens stranded on Earth thousands of years ago. His claims, of course, sparked controversy, professional backlash, and eventual resignation. Today, the stones have vanished, though photographs still circulate, keeping the mystery alive. So, who actually made them? At number 14, Carthaginian child sacrifice. Many archaeologists and historians once brushed off stories of Carthaginian child sacrifice as hostile propaganda spread by Greek and Roman enemies. Ancient writer Diodorus described a chilling bronze statue where infants were placed on its outstretched hands and rolled into flames below. For decades, the claim sounded exaggerated, but that changed in the early 20th century, when burial grounds in Carthage revealed cremated remains of infants. Similar sites later appeared in Sardinia and Sicily. The remains were stored in urns, arranged exactly like animal sacrifices found nearby. In some cases, children and animals shared the same containers. Sadly, gravestones never named the children or explained their deaths. Instead, inscriptions thanked gods for answered prayers or asked for future blessings. Scholars who accept ritual sacrifice believe it was limited to wealthy families, since cremation was costly and likely reserved for extreme circumstances. But some experts remain unconvinced. The disagreement has become one of classical archaeology's most bitter and unresolved debates. Number 13, Map of the Creator. Back in 1999, Alexander Chuvirov from Bashkir State University in Russia was summoned to a homeowner's yard after reports of a strange stone slab buried underground. The man claimed it had been sitting beneath his property for years. Chuvirov was immediately intrigued, having searched for similar slabs mentioned in historical texts. Excavating the object took more than a week due to its extreme weight. Named the Dashka Stone, it later became known as the Map of the Creator. Measuring roughly 5 feet tall, 3.5 feet wide, and weighing over a ton, the slab appeared to be a three-dimensional relief map of the Ural region. In this map, features resembling dams, irrigation systems, and engineered waterways were visible. The technology required to create such detail remains unexplained. Inscriptions across the stone were first thought to be Old Chinese, later identified as an unknown symbolic language. Experts suggest extreme antiquity, though testing methods remain disputed. The stone is still undergoing study. Number 12, Horned Human Skull. During the 1880s, an ancient burial mound was uncovered in Sayre, Pennsylvania, revealing a super disturbing discovery. Several skeletons were described as anatomically human. as except for bony protrusions rising roughly 2 inches above the eyebrows, giving the appearance of horns. The remains were also said to belong to unusually tall individuals, standing over 7 feet. Scientists at the time estimated the burial dated to around AD 1200. The excavation involved respected antiquarians, lending early credibility to the find. Similar horned skulls were also uncovered elsewhere in North America during the 19th century. Now, historically, horns symbolized power, authority, and kingship, appearing in ancient art and religious imagery. According to records, the Sayre skulls were sent to a museum in Philadelphia, but were later stolen and never recovered. Photographs allegedly exist, though skepticism remains strong. Many researchers dismiss the story as a hoax, while others suggest far stranger explanations. At number 11, aluminium wedge of Ayyub. Now this one is a bit otherworldly. The aluminium wedge of Ayyub was uncovered in 1974 near the Mureș River, 2 kilometers east of Ayyub, Romania. Found beneath 35 feet of sand alongside mastodon bones, the object immediately raised eyebrows. Mastodons vanished over 11,000 years ago. Shaped like a wedge and resembling part of a hammerhead, the artifact was examined at the Archaeological Institute of Cluj-Napoca. Tests revealed it was made from an aluminum alloy containing 12 elements and coated in an oxidized layer. This detail puzzled researchers, as aluminum was not officially isolated until 1808 and required extreme heat to manufacture. Its position within the same sediment layer as prehistoric bones intensified the mystery, and some claim the wedge resembled landing gear technology, fueling alien theories. Scientists, however, believe it originated on Earth, though its purpose remains unclear. Due to limited documentation and restricted access, both the age and origin of the artifact are still debated. The wedge is not publicly displayed, but you can see the photographs. Number 10. Hobbit ancestors. When the tiny human species Homo floresiensis was discovered in 2003, the nickname hobbits stuck instantly. These small-bodied humans lived on the Indonesian island of Flores, roughly 54,000 years ago. The bigger mystery was where they came from. For years, scientists assumed they descended from Homo erectus, the only known hominid previously found in the region. Early studies focused mostly on skulls and jaws, reinforcing that idea. In 2010, a broader analysis looked at limbs, shoulders, and teeth instead. The results surprised everyone. Rather than appearing more advanced, Homo floresiensis showed traits even more primitive than Homo erectus. The evolutionary link didn't line up cleanly. Instead, the hobbits resembled a sister species to Homo habilis, an African hominid from 1.75 million years ago. That implies a shared ancestor far earlier than expected. What's even more unsettling is that the evidence suggests Homo floresiensis may predate Homo habilis, rewriting parts of humanity's early timeline. Number 9. Los Lunas Decalogue Stone. The Los Lunas Decalogue Stone rests on the slope of Hidden Mountain near Los Lunas, roughly 35 miles south of Albuquerque. Carved into a flat surface is an inscription many interpret as a shortened version of the 10 Commandments written in Paleo-Hebrew. The divine name YHWH appears 4 times. The earliest recorded mention dates to 1933, when archaeologist Frank Hibben was shown the stone by a guide who claimed to have discovered it as a child in the 1880s. If true, the inscription predates scholarly awareness of Paleo-Hebrew, complicating forgery claims. Critics point to punctuation resembling modern Hebrew, but some experts argue that such marks existed in antiquity. Others cite grammatical flaws as evidence against authenticity. Supporters believe the stone suggests pre-Columbian Semitic contact with the Americas. Weighing over 80 tons, the boulder was never removed for laboratory study. Today, visitors can view it with a state land access permit. and keeping the debate very much alive. Number 8. The Shroud of Turin. This is one of the most controversial discoveries. The Shroud of Turin is a linen cloth bearing the faint image of a man marked by wounds matching Roman crucifixion. It's over 14 feet long and shows a full-body imprint that many believe represents Holy Jesus Christ. Since 1578, it has been stored in Turin, Italy, protected in a silver reliquary. Supporters argue the image formed when Christ was laid to rest, while skeptics insist the fabric dates centuries later. In 1988, radiocarbon testing placed the cloth between 1260 and 1390 AD, fueling criticism. Yet those tests have been challenged over sampling methods and contamination. In 1898, photographer Secondo Pia made a startling discovery when the shroud's photographic negative appeared as a positive image. Later studies revealed the image carries three-dimensional information, something paint or photography cannot reproduce. No method has successfully recreated it. And interestingly, the Catholic Church neither confirms nor denies its authenticity. Number 7. The Sediba Child. Well, like the hobbits, the immediate ancestor of modern humans remains deeply contested. Back in 2008, researchers exploring a cave in Malapa, South Africa, uncovered several fossil skeletons, including one remarkably complete child. The species was named Australopithecus sediba, and some hailed the boy as the long-sought bridge to the genus Homo. Others pushed back hard. Critics argue the child doesn't belong in the human family tree at all. Certain facial traits resemble those of early humans, particularly the narrow cheekbones. But the fossil dates to 1.98 million years ago, which many believe is too recent to be humanity's direct ancestor. That role likely belongs to an earlier Australopithecine, living between 2 and 3 million years ago. Digital aging of the child's skull makes it resemble Australopithecus africanus, an older non-human hominid. Another camp favors Australopithecus afarensis, including the famous Lucy fossil. Both sides agree on one single thing. Only an adult Sediba skull could end the debate. Number 6. Giants of North America. Across the last few centuries, numerous reports have surfaced describing the discovery of unusually large human skeletons throughout North America. These remains, often described as standing between 7 and 12 feet tall, appear in newspaper articles and local records. In 1833, soldiers in California reportedly uncovered a 12-foot skeleton with double rows of teeth. In 1856, vineyard workers in present-day West Virginia found remains measuring over 10 feet. Similar discoveries followed in Ohio and Louisiana. Many accounts describe oversized jaws, strange artifacts, and burial mounds. Explanations range from ancient giant races to misidentified remains. In 1947, a Nevada newspaper published a report describing underground caves filled with 8 to 9 foot skeletons dressed in animal skins, alongside tools and household items. The story claimed earlier Smithsonian involvement and alleged suppression of evidence. Another report credited Dr. F. Bruce Russell with uncovering the caves. Despite dramatic descriptions, no physical evidence has ever been presented publicly. Most scholars dismiss the claims, though stories of giants continue to circulate. So, do giants really exist? Number 5. The Aroeira cranium. This skull, found in Portugal, may hold crucial clues to the origins of Neanderthals. Scientists know that several Homo species lived across Europe and Asia around 500,000 years ago, and one eventually gave rise to Neanderthals. Found in 2014 inside the Aroeira cave, the cranium is about 400,000 years old and appears to belong to this shadowy ancestral group. What makes it remarkable is its blend of traits never seen together before. Certain features, like a fused brow ridge, strongly resemble Neanderthals. Its age also matches the Middle Pleistocene period, when their ancestors first appeared. Fossils from this era are rare and notoriously hard to date. And this skull stands out because its age could be confirmed using stone tools and animal remains found nearby. Beyond clarifying Neanderthal origins, the fossil may help explain how multiple ancient human groups in Europe evolved, interacted, and branched off from one another over time. Number 4. Coins from Marchinbar Island. In 1944, an Australian soldier wandering the shoreline of Marchinbar Island discovered 9 weathered coins buried in the sand. At first, the find seemed ordinary, but closer inspection changed that. 4 coins, traced back to 18th century Dutch origins, fit regional history. The remaining 5 did not. Those coins belonged to the Kilwa Sultanate, an East African trading power that flourished over 1,000 years ago. That placed them continents away from home and centuries before known European contact with Australia. And the discovery split historians. Some argue the coins arrived through shipwreck debris carried by ocean currents. Others believe they point to early contact between African sailors and Australia. No shipwreck has ever been found. No written records confirm the journey. Just 9 pieces of metal and an uncozy question hanging in the air. If intentional travel occurred, it suggests ancient navigation reached farther than history allows. But for now, the coins remain silent and stubbornly unresolved. Number 3. Piri Reis Map. In 1929, the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul was converted into a museum, revealing a trove of overlooked artifacts. Among them was a map drawn on gazelle skin by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Piri Reis in 1513. The surviving half depicts the western coasts of Europe, North Africa, and South America with striking accuracy. And it also shows the Atlantic Islands and the legendary Antilia. What startled scholars most was a landmass some believe resembles Antarctica. Official records state Antarctica was first sighted in 1820, yet the map appears to show coastal detail beneath ice thought to be thousands of years old. Some suggest lost ancient knowledge or advanced civilizations, though mainstream scholars reject those claims. Many argue the landmass represents Patagonia or the mythical Terra Australis. Piri Reis himself credited earlier sources, including a now-lost map attributed to Christopher Columbus. Despite extensive searches, that source has never surfaced. The map's true value lies in demonstrating the depth of early Portuguese geographic knowledge. It remains stored in the palace library, unseen by the public. Number 2. Kensington Runestone. In 1898, a Swedish-American farmer claimed he uncovered a large stone while clearing tree roots from his land in Douglas County, Minnesota. The slab was tangled in the roots of a small tree, and at first, Oman didn't think much of it. Unsure what he'd found, he brought the 200-pound stone to respected locals in the nearby settlement of Kensington. Carved across its surface were rows of strange symbols and runic text. The stone measured just over 30 inches tall and 16 inches wide. 9 years later, scholar Hjalmar R. Holland announced he had translated the inscription, describing a group of Norse explorers traveling inland from Vinland in the year 1362. The message spoke of fishing, a massacre, and a prayer for protection. If real, the runestone would place Scandinavian explorers deep in North America long before Columbus. Most linguists dismiss it as a hoax. Still, belief persists, and with it, the mystery. Number 1. The Arabian Collection. Archaeologists working in southern Arabia once explored a cave in the mountain known as Jebel Faya, expecting little more than scattered tools. Instead, they uncovered a collection that rattled long-held beliefs. The find included stone hand axes and cutting tools crafted with surprising skill. Tools alone weren't shocking. Their age and location were. For decades, historians believed humans left Africa between 80,000 and 60,000 years ago. The Jebel Faya tools were dated to roughly 125,000 years ago, pushing that migration back by 55,000 years. Even more striking, several tools closely resembled those made by humans in East Africa. That similarity suggests early travelers carried their technology with them. Critics argue the tools may not belong to modern humans, rejecting the idea of such an early departure. What isn't debated is that the cave later sheltered people across multiple eras. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging with us, and be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you very soon.